everyone, my name is Ashna and I'm your life coach. So today we are going to discuss about mindset for leaders. So when I say a leader, what is the one thing that comes into your mind? Someone who manages people, that's true. Someone who manages the workplace, that's right. A people's person, that's awesome. Okay, so all the three definitions are right. So all three are the correct representation of the word leader. So according to me, as a leader, there are two major duties that you need to do. First is the operational side. So where you are ensuring that the resources are used at an optimal level so that you are able to generate profit for the company. And the second one is like a managerial role, so which means that you are managing a couple of employees, uh, and you are responsible for their success as well as your own success. So it should be a win-win, as an employee and as a employer, so both the sides should win. Okay, so that's all about the role of a leader. So when we talk about a role of a leader in this video, we'll be focusing on a specific thing, that's performance expectations. So you might be thinking that performance expectation is very simple thing to cover. Definitely it is, but there's a lot of depth in it because there are certain things or certain pointers which needs to be considered, and I believe many people forget to consider it, and it usually creates a lot of tension among in the workplace. So what I'll suggest, you go through this, and I'm sure that by the end of this video you will be more than happy or more than satisfied with the pointers, and you'll start implementing it. So just learning this doesn't won't make any difference, but implementing it or some changes in your own self will help you as well as your employee, to be more productive or to have a better work environment. So there are two major things with what we are considering in this video. The first one is communication and the second one is goal. Okay, so as a leader, you need to communicate. You are in a position where you are in front of your employee, and you and your employee needs to communicate, need to know, you both need to know what are the exact expectations out of the scenario. Okay, so what I will suggest you, when you hire someone, schedule like a first meeting where you both are sitting maybe for a period of 30 minutes or 1 hour, depending on the time frame. Schedule a meeting with your employee and sit over there. First thing, make sure your employee feels comfortable. Make sure your employee feels appreciated when he or she speaks up about himself. So don't make a situation where they have they have to lose their originality just to fit in. So there might be some situation where they might have triggered that I'm losing me just to impress my employer. So don't let such situation come in, because if it comes in, then it's not a healthy relationship. It's something that will be a little bit toxic. So make sure your employee is at ease and feels comfortable and feels sees you as someone they can approach it. So you need to have yourself developed as someone who is approachable. So you can develop by building a rapport with them, or you can present yourself as someone who's like friendly and is wise at the same time. Okay, so who's fair and friendly, so the employee would feel more comfortable around you, rather than he or she thinking that you are a boss. He or she needs to think you are a leader who will take him or her to a next level. So so clear communication. So communication is not always as an employer, it has to be on both sides. So employer as well as employee has to communicate with each other. So which means that when you, okay, so in general, in traditional system, where like a meeting was arranged between employer and employee, so employer was the one who was speaking. So these are my expectations out of you. from the role, and this is what I want you to succeed, this is what I want you to focus on. Okay, so that was the previous like 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, or even but now with this modern culture coming in, I want you as well as your employee needs to have two-way communication. Okay, so as an employer, what I'll suggest you and your employee, you can ask them to have a book, or if you are someone who is very techy, then they can write down their notes on like Excel, Word document, or any kind of software which works best. So doesn't matter how they are keeping the notes, but what is important should be something in writing. That's what I'll suggest. So I'm a old school, so I prefer book and pen, but it's completely up to you. There's no right and wrong over here. Whatever works, but something in writing. That's the preference. Okay. So what you have to do is you and your employee has to make like two columns. One is your, so like that's employer expectations, and the second one has to be employees okay. So you have to ask your you as an okay, so first I'll suggest you to give it a start. You need to initiate it. So over here, you'll be saying that, hey Ashna, I hired this person. This person might have read the roles and responsibility, what he or she needs to perform at the organization. That's true. Definitely he or she is aware about it. But do you know that that same employee have applied for 50 other jobs? So like something won't be inside his brain. Not everything will be inside his brain, his or her brain. So make sure when you meet him or her for the first time, you tell all the roles that they need to achieve. Okay, so like it can be as smallest as possible, but those are like the company's expectation. So those are the one which are written on the job description. So on the job description, there will be like 10 or 20 bullet points where a lot of things are written. So you need to communicate as an employer to your employee all the bullet points that were there in the job, uh, on the job description. So every single aspect of the role needs to be covered over here. And then there is another section where it is your expectations. So this one was general organization expectation. Then this one is your expectation. Excuse me. So as an employer, you do have certain expectation from your employee. Okay, and it will be always different depending on person to person. So like though the organization will be the same, but every employer within the same organization, the same title, within different workplace would have different expectations, because we are human and we don't have same amount of expectations. So like you have to highlight three major things that you want him or her to focus on. So those three are the priorities. One, two, three. It doesn't has to be more. It doesn't has to be less. Okay. So like make sure it's three. Don't put five or six or seven, because then it distracts the focus. So keep it as minimal as possible. Maybe one, two, or three. Maximum three. That's what I'll say. Don't try to like it will. If you put 10 bullet points in this, it will directly distract your employee, and he or she won't be able to focus on one. So make sure it's one, maximum three. Okay, so once you communicate this, okay, so your employee has a clear cut picture about what are your expectations out of it. Okay? The second thing is your employees' expectations out of you. So this part is usually ignored, or we forget to discuss this about this at many instances, because we always think that employee is working for employer, so it's always employer's expectation to be met. But employee expectations are equally important as employers expectations. So over here, as I mentioned, you make sure your employee is speaking honestly, not to please you. So you can use like various phrases like, be honest with me. This is just between you and me. It's not gonna go somewhere to some third person, not to the back office, not to the higher manager. It's just between you and me, and you have to be as honest as possible. You need to develop, as an employer, you need to develop that trust that your employee is willing to open up with you. And probably at that time, they might not able to figure out, they might not be able to say everything what they expect from you. You can ask them to think about it and then come back later, maybe within a week or two. But make sure this is covered, make sure you are not missing it. So your employee might come with many things, and you can ask them what are their priority. So priority would be like one, two, or three maximum. Maximum three priorities. Like this is something I won't ever compromise on. So one, two, three. So three priorities should be mentioned by your employee. So make sure you're implementing this strategy in your workplace, so that both the side expectations are clear and are implemented. So priorities are there. And over here, you can also tell your employee, you feel like, I know with time your expectations change, your priorities change, and that's completely fine. But make sure you keep on updating me. So if there's something that you want, your expectations are changing, or if your priorities are changing, you need to inform me, so that I am ensuring that I am best possible a version of myself to meet your expectations, and your best possible version of yourself to meet my expectations. So clear cut understanding of the expectations is very much important in this scenarios. Okay, and there might be a situation where your expectations might not meet with your employees expectation. So maybe you might have different mindsets. There are high chances that people have different mindsets and different goals, due to which your expectations and your employees expectation is clashing somewhere. So in that situation, what you can do is, you can explain the why you are asking him or her to do a specific thing, why you are asking them to do a specific thing, and how it will add value. So the how should always be in the employee's favor, not in the employer favor. So like, okay, so let me write it down for you. So the how should be always in the employee's favor as employer. Okay, and if you're an employee, it should be always in the employer's favor. So let me explain you the analogy why I'm saying that. So how is like, okay, so why okay, let's start with why. So why, as an employer, I'm asking you to do this. And why am I saying? Because I want you to reach to a next level. You're not saying that I'm saying this because I want to reach to a next level. You're saying that I want you to do this because I want you to reach to a next level. Are you getting the difference? If you're saying this in the employee's favor, there is no way this clash is not solved. But if you're saying the how in your own favor, because I want to be something, then employee will think that this person doesn't have best of my interest. And it will start bringing tension between both of you. Okay, so make sure you're saying this in their interest, and that's very much important. Okay, so this is all about communication. Now we are focusing on goal linkage. Okay, so when you meet for the first time with your employee, what you will do is you have to see that, okay, when the expectations are communicated with each other, you need to see that how you can add value to your employee. So one is like employer's benefit, the another one is employer's benefit. So this is the why and the how concept that I spoke with you right now. So if I say that, okay, let me give you an example to make this concept very much clear. So I'm an employee and you're an employer, and you came to me, oh sorry, I came to you, and my performance is little bit lower, okay? And you as an employee is telling me that I want you to improve your performance, okay? And I want you to I want you to improve your performance. That's it, okay? That's one thing. The second one, you come to me and you told me that I want to I want to improve you. I want you to improve your performance because when we met for the first time, you told me your goal is to achieve a specific target within a specific time. So like maybe my goal is to get a promotion within next 1.5 year. So you can tell me like, hey, like my goal, like your goal, I remember you telling me that your goal is to reach a promotion within 1.5 year. So that would trigger me to push myself to achieve to improve my performance. So make sure it's rather than choosing if you're an employer, rather than choosing your benefit, you'll choose your employee's benefit to motivate them. And yeah, like I hope you're understanding this, and do let me know if you have any question or if you need more clarity on this. I'll be happy to answer all your questions. And yeah, like do share, like and subscribe on my channel. I'm Ashna, your life coach. I usually charge $50 USD for life coaching, and my number is 236-881-4511. And if you have any questions, just reach out to me. And if you're not satisfied with my coaching, which is rare, but if it happens, I'm happy to return back your money. So do let me know what are your views, and if you would like me to work on your mindset, I'll be happy to help you with that. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and if you're working for me, you know you have a best leader for you. So thank you and have a nice day.